So a buddy of mine has the last Nissan Altima of this generation left on the road, I'm about convinced. And we're having to replace some door handles because they broke, and A Premium is the only company that offers these in a new replacement. And as you can see, they're not chrome like the originals are, but that's okay as long as they work. Except I can't get it to go in there. So I'm looking at these little tabs. It has 3 of them that lock them into the door. And then I noticed something. Look at that. It isn't the mold that they use. It doesn't cut all the way through. So I'm going to take a hacksaw, cut these notches all the way out so that maybe we can get a door handle in his pristine Smaltima over here. So we trimmed it up, and I will tell you, this is some of the most rank smelling plastic. Like, you start cutting this and it just reeks. So let's go see if it fits. There we go. Look at that. Bless you. You're ruining my TikTok. And there we are, all back together. Good as new. Man, working for used car lots is wild, because I've got this 2000, I think it's a 16 Outlander here. The front struts on both sides were just toast. I mean, seal blown, they clunked, it was bad. It felt like you were driving a trampoline down the road. So here's our old strut, and you see it's gone. And yeah, it's super bouncy, and it's also bent a little bit, so the camera was way off. So here's the new one that they got for us, because they source their own parts, clearly from a junkyard, as you can see by the writing on it. And check out the boot here. Yeah, oh yeah, that looks good. They even left us a couple pieces of brake line. Isn't that nice? Used car lots, man, I'm telling you. Audi Q7 with a 3-liter turbo diesel. It's had all the recall stuff done for the catalytic converter, the turbo, the software update, all that good stuff. So she runs fairly well. However, it came from another shop. They had worked on it. The guy picked it up. He's been driving it for a couple months or whatever, and he's noticed the smell of oil ever since. And occasionally, he said, you'll see it like smoking out from underneath the hood just a little bit after long drives. Down here's a bunch of new parts. I replaced the belt, all 3 tensioners, or I'm sorry, the 3 idlers and the tensioner assembly. Because one, I don't know how you did that, but it did. And the bearing's still fine in it, but something just, I don't know. Anyway, that. And then 2, I found the source of the oil leak pretty quickly. You can see down in there's all kind of oil left on the skid plate, on the front of the block and the top of the pan. This dipstick tube, when the last shop worked on it, they routed this belt over this flat idler. And you see it's smooth, which means the smooth service goes to smooth. If the rib side of the belt was going to be on the pulley, it would be ribbed like this to match. It was not. Pretty simple mistake, but that little simple mistake pushed this belt up too high, and it actually ran into the dipstick tube right there. And so sawed a hole right, come on, you stupid phone. Sawed a hole right through it. Is that not wild? So FCP Euro hooked us up for the usual belt, the 3 idlers, the new tensioner, and a new dipstick tube. And it's going to be good to go. There's a little bit more maintenance he wants done on it while it's here. But yeah, double check, folks. That little bit right there, just going the wrong way. And it still worked. The belt never came off, but and then all the blow-by from the engine was pushing out of the tube, running down the front of the block, making a mess on the skid plate. Not good stuff. Check over your work. Make sure you got it right. Behind me is my 2019 Subaru Crosstrek, and it's broken. And these are the parts that I ordered off of Amazon to fix it. And why did I order Amazon parts for this car? Because not all furries are suspiciously wealthy. Inside the package from Amazon, let's see, we have 4 new coil packs and 4 new spark plugs. Now, I don't know about using the spark plugs that they sent us, but I mainly needed the coil packs. It melted a coil, as I'll show you in a second. Under the hood, we have Subaru's infamous 2-liter flat 4, and right down there, how can I get the camera so you can see it? But that white glob right there that's completely out of focus is a melted coil pack, and apparently this is kind of common to happen. The engine gets really warm when it's sitting and idling for long periods of time, which is what it was doing when this happened, and the coil pack just kind of melts and the guts of the coil pack shoot out, which is what that is. I'm going to take this out so you can see it. But anyway, we need to put a coil in it to get this cylinder to fire so that we can drive it to the shop to fix the rest of the issues. To gain some access room, we're going to remove the battery. These Interstate batteries are great because it takes all the guesswork out of when your battery is going to fail and just straight up tells you right on the front, the Interstate. That's exactly where your battery will quit working when you need it most. Now you can get a better look inside there and see our ignition coil and the blown out spot right there. And like I said, Subaru, this is a common issue, and there's kind of like a recall deal with it. And when I called Subaru and asked them if this was covered, if I could just bring it and they would fix it, which some people said it was, Subaru kind of gave me the runaround for the last few weeks. And we've been in Pittsburgh, and now we're back from Pittsburgh, and I'm having to drive my old Subaru that does not have air conditioning right now because it's also broken because I'm poor. So the easiest thing to do is just to buy the cheapest set of coil packs I could find online, replace them, and hope that this gets me along for a while. With a little luck, out comes our melted coil pack, and you can see where it just straight up exploded, made a big old pimple. It's also covered in motor oil. Once again, another problem for another time. We just got to get it running. And we'll take our new coil and we'll slip it down into that hole. Oil and all, because no fucks to be given today. Went right back in. Let's put the bolt in it, slap that connector on. Drop our battery back in. Now that it's all put back together, let's try it and see if it starts. Well, judging by all the oil on the ignition coil, I guess we're going to have to do some valve cover gaskets. But most importantly for today, it's running, it's no longer misfiring, and I'll be able to drive it this way. So now we can get it to the shop to do the rest of the repairs. If you'd like to see that and more content, make sure you follow along. We're on Instagram, TikTok, and of course, YouTube. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
All right. First one in the shop this morning, 04 Ford Explorer with the 4-liter V6. Claims it's not charging. Get in here to the hood. Oh, and the shocks are no good. Go figure. Hang on. Got my Snap-on Universal 3/8 hood prop. And now we can get in here to check on this alternator issue. So over here, I've got a vintage. I say vintage. It's pushing 20 years old now. One of the Medtronics Micro 500s. We're going to use to test the alternator, but first, Mr. Patina in Politics himself in the flesh. How are we doing, Mr. Dillon?
Pretty good. I've had my coffee already.
Awesome. You don't drink coffee?
Yes, I do.
Since when?
Since my 2-month-old gets me up at 5 o'clock every morning.
Oh. So anyways, I was saying before Mr. Dillon showed up, we're going to take and plug all this crap in. Now, there's much more modern ways to do this, but this is how the pioneers did it, so that's how we're going to do it. Choose test in vehicle. Yep. Select input. Cold cranking amps is 850. Testing. Surface charge detected. Turn headlights on. Headlights on detected. Turn headlights off. Headlights off detected. Resting cold cranking amps. Replace battery. Prepare for starter test. Oh, shoot, gotta get keys. Alright, we got our key. Press enter for starter test. Start engine. Crank volts 11.5. Press enter for charging test. Alternator voltage 12.3. Testing for charging voltage. Diesel engine. Charging system problem. No charging voltage. And there you have it. Diode ripple not detected. Charging system problem. So even though our dummy gauge up here thinks everything's fine, it is not. And I already knew it was the alternator, but I just wanted to show you guys how that old stuff works. Pretty neat, huh? Now, this is an old Explorer, and the guy ain't got a lot of money to spend on it, so he elected to put a used alternator on it, and that's fine by me. So now let's make another TikTok and change this alternator out for him, shall we? Alright, so starting off on this Ford Explorer, we're gonna knock our battery terminal loose, get that corroded nasty thing off of there. Fantastic, fantastic. Over here on our alternator, let's see, like a 10, maybe a 13, and then one electrical connector on the back. Alright, so I'm gonna hit the wiring harness from the back of the alternator, put it over there, knock all these loose. I already did. They put that airbox in a bad spot, don't they? But anyway, you can go ahead and get these front two out like this, and then once you do, we'll pull in here and we'll get this belt off with the one bolt that's left. So I got a fancy tool for this, but down here on the tensioner pulley, there's a spot right there where you can put a 3/8 headed ratchet down in there to rotate the tensioner. Well, we're going to use this bad boy with the 3/8 adapter. I'm going through this double-ended, it's like a gear wrench, if I can do it. Yeah, and then this is going to go down in here. The squirrels on my roof are going nuts. And then this connects into this end. Alright, so our belt's off now down there. I'm just going to walk this last bolt out by hand because I don't feel like going to the back of the shop and getting the little 3/8 stubby. And I'm almost there. Ta-da! And we'll take this one the rest of the way out. Boom. Save your little bracket. And here is your dead alternator. It can go into the pile of all the others. So my used alternator is still connected to the bracket, so we will remove it from this bracket, which they've got the bolts backwards from what this one was. Got our new alternator sitting down in here. Gonna start all 3 bolts, and then we'll go tighten them down. Alright, little wire thing's back on, hot's on, our wiring harness is plugged in. Now let's slip this belt back on. Our belt and everything's back on. This cover was just sort of chilling there like that. Battery terminal. Now we're gonna test again. $14.39, $14.42. Now we can do a load test. And she passed. Back in her hole she goes. Customer can come pick it up. On to the next car.
So my sister drives a 3rd generation Dodge Ram, and she loves that truck. But last week she called me and said that it left her hoofing it. And I went down there to take a look to see what happened. And well, lo and behold, the drive shaft came flying out from underneath that bad boy. And it was too damaged for me to fix, so I sent it off to the rebuilder. And here it is back. They welded new ends on it because it completely ruined those. It broke one side off when it hit the pavement. New U-joints, of course, on both ends. Yeah, and they put it on a machine and rebalanced it, and we're ready to go. And not that anybody was wondering, but you can fit a drive shaft in the back of a Subaru Crosstrek. Found it. Now, I was smart enough to leave all the bolts in the truck so I wouldn't lose them. And then slip the new drive shaft right up into place. It lined up awesome. That should fix our mystery vibration that we had. And let's go home and get out of this heat.